and welcome to our Homeownership Is Possible Zoom conversation. My name is Melissa Martinez-Sones with the Homeownership Opportunity Alliance. We'll be joined on this call by a number of individuals involved in this work who are excited to help you on your homeownership journey. This includes representatives from Minnesota Housing, New American Funding, Habitat for Humanity, Bremer Bank, Midwest One, PPL, and the Minnesota Homeownership Center. I'd like to introduce Assistant Commissioner Casey Keir from Minnesota Housing to tell you more about the Homeownership Opportunity Alliance and what we hope to share with you today.
Thanks, Melissa. Hi, I'm Casey Keir. I work for Minnesota Housing, the state's housing finance agency, and I also co-lead the Homeownership Opportunity Alliance in partnership with the Minnesota Homeownership Center. The Homeownership Opportunity Alliance is a coalition of lenders and real estate professionals and nonprofit and government housing agencies that are working together to close Minnesota's unacceptable homeownership disparity gap between white households and Black, Indigenous communities and people of color. So today you'll hear from a few of our Alliance members about some common challenges and myths that homebuyers face. We'll connect you with some resources and programs and share some success stories. Buying a home is probably the biggest purchase that most of us will ever make. It is complicated. You may not know if your credit is good enough, or if you make enough money to buy a home, how much you might need for a down payment, or even where to start. But what most people don't know is that you don't have to do it alone, and that there are community-based nonprofit organizations across the state that can help provide homeowner education and advising to help you get ready and be ready for homeownership, so that when you find that home you love, you'll be ready to make that offer. But before we hear from some of our lenders and nonprofit advisors, you'll hear from one of our Homeownership Opportunity Alliance lenders and a new homeowner that didn't think homeownership was possible and is now thrilled to be in his new home that he owns, building equity and wealth.
Good afternoon. My name is Trent Bowman. I am the Vice President, CRA Business Development Officer for Midwest One Bank. It is my pleasure and my honor to introduce a young man who I had the privilege of working with and working with him in his journey into home ownership. This gentleman his name is Benny. Benny is a first-time home buyer, and I just want to introduce Benny to all of you. And Benny, if you could just first introduce yourself and then share a little bit about your home ownership story.
Most definitely. My name is Benny J. Randall IV. I am I'm an educator and I'm a coach. I'm a head basketball coach for girls basketball, author, chef, if you say. Also, just a community guy. And basically, my home ownership process has been a long one. There's been a lot of no's to begin with. There's been a lot of people that seem very trustworthy, but they were just trying to, fill the status quo. And there's been a lot of just patience that had to go with it. But the home ownership process is definitely one that was definitely worth it. It's always been a goal of mine. It's always been a passion that, I own my own property and own my own assets and things. So it's a long time coming, but I'm glad it's here.
How did you work through the challenges or barriers before you came, to our team, and what were some of the barriers and challenges that you faced before you got together with the team that you knew had your back?
I would say the hardest one was broken promises. Just people saying that they could do something and it'll take this much time, and then as soon as you get to that point that they said that you had to be at, it wasn't enough. So that was tough. And, not being straightforward, but the other barriers were just life in general. You have bills, you have daily living to do. You can't just switch up just to, you can't change everything to try to try to get to that goal, you still have to maintain through everything. So that was the key. But, just being smart and budgeting, and I'm not a budgeting person, but, just learning how to do that on the fly. Nice. And being realistic with it.
Mm-hmm. There's a myth out there. We like to try to do a lot of myth busters. And a lot of times everyone is always saying, well, you're going to need 20% to put down. Could you tell the people, did you need 20%, and were you able to get down payment assistance support through your process, through your homeownership journey?
So no, I did not need 20%. I'm lucky to have Katina Lawler. I'm lucky to have Trent Bowman here to help me. Katina Lawler was my real estate agent, and she actually introduced me to Trent Bowman. And basically, they put in the work to actually make sure that I was paying a reasonable price that I could pay. And at the same time, as long as I'm willing to get the paperwork in, as long as I'm willing to stay on top of the little things and even the big things when they need them, they helped me on the process of actually getting the loan to a decent amount. And even when the loan went too high, or even when it got to a price point that I was like, this is sketchy for me. I don't know. I thought we were working together. They was like, nah, you know what? We got to stay true with our word, and we're going to help. We're going to go find other money and other programs that we could throw you in that could help you benefit from everything. So
awesome.
I ended up paying $2,000. So for a house, I'll take it any day.
I see, that's really that's the key message, and I want you to kind of repeat that. What did you come out of pocket with for the purchase of your home? I want you to say that loudly and proudly. How much did you come out of pocket with?
Like to be exact, $2,800 out of pocket in the course of 8 months. I'm not 8 months. Sorry, 5 months.
Okay, so Benny, the program that we used for you, we used Minnesota Housing, which was the startup program, where we were able to get you the down payment assistance through Minnesota Housing. We were also able to layer the Federal Home Loan Bank dollars. I believe was another 5,000. Is that correct? Or 8,000. And then we were also able to get you another $5,000 through the neighborhood that you purchased in. To be able to get you to really to use that full out of pocket expenses of only $2,800. Being able to get these types of programs and layer these down payment assistance programs, how great of an impact was that to your finances and your monthly mortgage payment, including taxes and insurance? How great did that help you, and how is that helping you being able to buy the house, the dream house you can afford, and maintain a mortgage payment to keep you steady in your progress in homeownership?
It actually helped me. It actually helped me learn the budget, and it actually helped me to pay a cheaper mortgage, because mortgage was actually cheaper than rent, and then just everything that tied into the house, it actually turned out to be less than rent. So daily living, monthly living is, and actually learning the budget was all a benefit in the long run.
And to conclude, what parting message would you give to a Benny Randall IV if he were you and they were a first-time home buyer and they had fears of being able to go through this process? What would Benny tell that new Benny?
Perseverance is everything, because at the end of the day, you want to see yourself on that other side, so you have to see it through. And there's ups and downs, there's easies, there's the hards, so you just got to know you, and you just got to persevere. And once you take your step, once you get that key, once you see it all the way through, it's a fresh breath of air, so I can't pass it up. It's needed.
Thank you, Benny. And on behalf of my team, it was a pleasure to work with you. And in my parting message as well would be follow the instructions that the loan officer or the lending team is giving you, because they're here to help you and support you and get you to the promised land and get you to the keys to that property. So we can't do what we do if it's not for gentlemen like yourself that are listening to us and doing the things that we ask you to do. So we're very proud of you. Congratulations. Continue that message of home ownership to your friends and your family, because generational wealth is within all of us. We just got to go out and capture it and go get it. Thank you, Benny.
Thank you so much, Trent, for bringing Benny to the table. We absolutely love hearing success stories. So thank you so much for your contribution to the industry. My name is Damon Mason, and I'm a loan officer with New American Funding. Today, we're going to talk about the story of myths in home buying. And the thing about this is, just like Benny's story, he didn't think probably that he can obtain home ownership, but he did. And with Trent's help, he was able to do that. With that being said, let's talk about some myths that a lot of customers really don't know. One of those myths are going to be, do I need 20% down payment? The next one will be, do I make enough money? Is my credit even good enough? And do I have to do this on my own? We're going to start off with introducing Tiffany. Tiffany will then tell you exactly, do I actually need 20% down to buy a home?
Thank you, Damon. Thanks for having me. My name's Tiffany. I'm a lender with Bremer Bank. My role is to assist home buyers with securing the financing for their purchase. I also teach first-time home buyer classes with 2 nonprofits in the community. This is a common question that I get from my clients regarding if they need 20% down. It's a common myth, and I believe the myth is out there because there are a couple things that take place if you do not have 20% down. One is you're required to escrow your taxes and your insurance into your monthly payment, and 2, you're required to get private mortgage insurance. But outside of that, as a first-time homebuyer, you are not required to put 20% down. You can put as little as 3% down for conventional financing and 3.5% down for FHA financing as a first-time home buyer. So great question, but no, you do not need 20% down to purchase your home.
Thank you so much, Tiffany. That was perfect. Trent, can you add some commentary to that?
Absolutely. Thank you. Trent Bowman, Vice President, CRA Business Development for Midwest One Bank. Again, it's always an honor to be part of this wonderful conversation. And as Tiffany said, you don't need 20% down. But one message that I would give to any first-time home buyer is know your power, know your value. Ask the questions. Ask your loan officer what types of down payment assistance programs do they have access to. Even though the program says you need 3% down, in some cases, you may come in with just $1,000 out of your own pocket. But how would you know that unless you ask those questions and partner with with the nonprofit organizations that are out there? Because these individuals also know the different products and programs that are available. So again, know your value, know your power. You bring that to the table. At the end of the day, we work for you, the consumer. So when you know this information and you know your power and your value, you'll see that home ownership is right at your fingertip. So go get it.
Thank you so much, Trent. That was very, very well said. Tiffany, I would like to come back to you. What about, do I make enough money? That is a huge question. A lot of times, definitely when we're dealing with first-time home buyers, they don't make a ton of money, but they do know that home ownership is possible. Can you break that down for us? Do I make enough money?
I would love to. It is a very common question, and unfortunately, it's a little loaded because there isn't a certain amount of money that you must make. It's all about affordability. It's important for us to get you into a home that's affordable for you based on your income and the debts that you're responsible for paying. So what we will do as lenders is we will look at your debts and we will look at the income that you have. And when I say look at debts, we're looking at debts that we see on your credit report that you're responsible for paying on a monthly basis. And essentially each of the different financing options that are available for you, whether it's conventional or FHA, they allow you to use different levels of your income or different percentages of your income to help you cover your debt payments. So as a lender, what I'll do, sit down with you, look at what your debt is from your credit report, what your income is, and help you find a house, well, not necessarily a house, but get you approved for a loan that works with your affordability. And again, that's looking at your debts and your income.
Well said, Tiffany. I think that anybody can absolutely understand what you're saying. Also, Trent, can you tag team off of what Tiffany just said and add to that?
Yes. And first and foremost, I totally agree with Tiffany. And I'll just add the house of substance. Buy the house you can afford, because that's your affordability level. Again, understand your budget. Understand, what your lifestyle is. Understand, when you're purchasing a home, you're buying that dream home that you can afford to maintain your lifestyle. Will your lifestyle alter? Will you have some adjustments to make? Absolutely. But what you don't want to get into is having major adjustments and buying a house that you can't afford. You don't want to struggle being in your first home. You want to be able to, if you've gone on vacation in the past, you want to continue to go on vacation. The whole purpose of buying a house and buying in that affordability level is still have the ability to save, is to have the ability to put money away, because everyone that's going to purchase a home is going to inherit house debt. And house debt is the stuff you don't see coming. It's it's that rent, not that rent, excuse me. It's the ceiling that may be leaking. It may be the furnace that may go out. So understand that when you're purchasing that house of substance.
Thank you so much again, Tiffany and Trent. Having this information for a first-time home buyer and having you guys as a resource makes all the difference in the world. I'm sure that it really made a huge, huge difference for those people who are going to be listening to this recording. That information is spectacular. We're going to keep this moving forward, and we're going to continue with the myths. We're going to introduce two more people that's going to speak to you from a different perspective about, is my credit good enough? And then we're going to also go into do I have to do this on my own? So I would like to first introduce Henry. Henry, you can take it from here. Do I make enough money?
Thank you, David, for the introduction. My name is Henry Rucker. I'm the lead homeownership and financial coach for Project for Pride in Living, also known as PPL. And that's a great question. The answer to that is really no. There is no perfect credit score when it comes to buying a house. Every program differs per lender and per conventional FHA. So the idea is to get you in the door with a financial coach such as myself and Steven to really sit down and map out your next steps. You might be able to buy a house at a 600 credit score or an 800 credit score. It's going to depend on the lender. So what we want to make sure as an individual or the family that you do not come to the conclusion that you don't qualify, not with sitting down with somebody and talking about the next steps that you need to take. Every lender will be different. We might be able to get you into a first-time home buyer program at 620. We might be able to get you into a first-time home buyer program at 710. Again, it will vary on your different variables such as income, assets, the type of program that you're going to take advantage of. So we want to make sure that everybody calls one of the institutions that is part of the HOA to make sure that they're getting the necessary coaching to get them into homeownership.
Henry, that was a mouthful, and I absolutely loved it. That is a huge, huge question that people have. People always say, I have a 620 score or a 640 score. Who's going to help me? What can I get? So you addressing that is huge. Stephen, can you add to that, please?
Yes, thank you very much. I'm Stephen Ray Wilson. I'm a homeownership advisor at Twin Cities Habitat for Humanity. I'm also chair of the Program Advisory Council of the Minnesota Homeownership Center. On the issue of credit, ideally, one would say there is good credit. So you look in the 700s and 800s and stuff like that. But practically, it depends on whoever the lender is. For example, at Habitat, the mortgage ready score is 620. That is different from other banks. There are other people who look at, if you're looking at FHA loan, you might be looking at like 600 or so. So the basic things you want to let the client know is that they're not alone. the first thing they can do, if they're not certain that their credit is good enough, then you want to help them to check their credit report. What is it about your credit report that concerns you? Then if there are errors on that credit report, we try to help them to correct them if there are errors, because sometimes errors can diminish your score if you don't know what it is. So they have to understand what their credit score is. If there are delinquencies, what are those delinquencies? Are they collections? Are they judgments? Are they bankruptcies? So you want to know what those things are, so to alleviate their fears. You know, what are your utilization values or utilization ratios? Are they borrowing too much against their limits? They want to know all of that. You know, what level of debt are they carrying generally, you know, as a person? But over and over it all, what they need to do is to find a trusted advisor who can help them through their journey. Home ownership is a journey. That journey might begin with your credit score, and you need somebody to help you to move you along that journey by making it better.
Thank you so much, Stephen. I felt that. That was really powerful. That was really, really well said. Really well said. I think that people needed to hear what you just said, because they need to be believers that this can work for them, that they really do need people like both you and Henry to step up and actually help them achieve their goals of home ownership. We're going to move to our last question, and we're going to incorporate Bill Gray into this conversation. Bill, can you take it from here? We're going to talk about, do I have to do this on my own? And you are definitely qualified to speak to this.
So much, David. Bill Gray. I'm with the Minnesota Homeownership Center. I think it'd be good to understand who the Minnesota Homeownership Center is. We are a nonprofit dedicated to promoting home ownership as a wealth building tool to all Minnesotans. And this initiative that we're involved with specifically reaches out to some of the communities who have been left out of that over time. So how we do this, we oversee a network of 40 plus individual organizations across the state, and we certify homeownership advisors within those organizations to deliver these services. So what you're getting is high level, authentic, authoritative advice on how to go about the process, delivered by people in your own community who understand what the issues are that you are dealing with where you live, whether that's North Minneapolis or South Duluth. Henry is one of those advisors. He's with PPL. Stephen is one with Habitat, and that's what we do. So these advisors help you. They let you not have to do it on your own. So it's been said before in this conversation, we're talking about one-on-one advising based on your personal situation as far as your own finances and family situation goes. We're talking about financial coaching if that's what we need. If you need to start a little bit farther behind than other people. But the successes that we see are helping people into home ownership, whether it takes 3 months, 6 months, 2 years, whatever. Home ownership is possible, and we are all about helping you to achieve it for you and your family and your community.
Yeah, so thank you so much again, Bill. But we forgot one little small thing after all of the great information that you provided to us. Can you elaborate and actually add to about the education piece that comes along with home ownership?
Absolutely, David, and thanks for flagging me on that. I don't want to forget that at all. So one of the other services that we offer, besides the one-on-one advising and the financial coaching and all that, is an actual home buyer education class that is delivered by the folks like Henry and Stephen and their agencies. And this is a class that covers from A to Z what goes into the home buying process. It is offered all the time by all of our different partners around the state. And the best place that you can find a class near you, although lots of them are virtual right now because of COVID, and probably there'll be a good choice between in-person and virtual moving forward, better virtual than we've had before. Where you go to find those classes is you can go to Homeownership Opportunity Alliance.org. That's our campaign's homepage. It's going to take you to a page on our Homeownership Center website with all of the information, and you can click on the button that says Find a Workshop. Take that as your first step.
Thank you so much, Bill. Thank you so much for saying that, because a lot of times when people think that they have to do it by themselves, the first thing that happens is anxiety. Do I really have to do it by myself? Will someone hold my hand? Because I have no idea what's going on. And a lot of times people hear horror stories, and having you as that resource changes everything in their minds, and then they can actually move forward. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass the ball over to Henry. And Henry, can you elaborate a little bit more?
Yes, thank you. And great information, Bill. I think one thing a lot of people in the community and lenders and realtors would like to should understand a little bit better is that to be part of the HOA is really a group of individuals and organizations that are looking to get homes more out in the community, the information in the community, along with the fact that there is no charge for these services. So when you work with somebody like myself or Steven or somebody else in the network of the HOA, there are no charges to you as an individual. The success speaks for itself. The funding comes from different organizations such as Minnesota Housing and Minnesota Homeownership Center. That's why we're able to give these services to you at no charge, is because the idea is to create financial empowerment by having a better credit score, increase your savings, increase your possibility of getting approved for a home mortgage. Then that will allow you to go on to become a homeowner. It's all about helping you build long-term financial wealth for yourself and for your family. And there's no better way to do that, to me, than to work with an organization that is not paid a commission on your success. There's nothing wrong with lenders or realtors, but to get you in a position to work with Damon, to work with Trent, or work with Tiffany, or lenders that are part of the HOA or real estate firms, is to work with you at your pace and your time frame. As Bill mentioned, it could take 3 months, it could take 3 years. We're okay with that because we go at your own pace. I'm going to steal a little bit of a line from my friend Trent that was on the call earlier, is that it's never a no. It's never a hard no. It's just a slow yes. And that process may take you 3 months or 3 years, but the idea is to get you ready for home ownership.
Thank you so much, Henry. You said something really, really big. And one of the big things that you said was regarding you don't have to do it by yourself, is that a lot of times we see first-time home buyers or people who buying again after 10 years, and they're new homeowners again, right? First-time home buyers again. They've already, if they're in a situation where they need help, with their credit, they've already probably are paying someone to do that. And here it is, we have resources like you where they can get that for free. And with Steven and Bill, and they had no idea, but now that they know, this changes everything. They don't have a ton of money to pay these bigger companies to help them with credit repair and putting their ducks in a row. So I'm so glad that you're available. Steven, can you also add to that conversation as well, that the borrower, the customer, does not have to do this alone?
Well, yes. I mean, the customer does not have to do it alone, but they have to know exactly who they're doing it with. And that is where the homeownership advisors come in, where the counselors come in, the coaches come in, because I had a client who came in and said, well, I've been trying to work on my credit and I'm paying this person or this institution $100 every month to help me fix my credit. I'm like, whoa, that seems to make a lot of sense to me, though, because what you can do, I see your debt here. If you were paying $100 towards your debt every month, you'll be eliminating your debt. But $100 to somebody to fix your credit, I think is a waste of money. This is how we can do it. And so then we set a plan how we can work on the client's credit, on the client's delinquencies or their missed payments. One of the biggest things that clients need to know is that they have to pay their bills on time, even if it is the minimum. Pay your bills on time. Avoid the big debts, the utilization ratios. Should that be over 30%? If clients know the basic things that make up their credit scores, the five factors that make up their credit score, they can go on navigating their way forward without having much problems. So yes, we are there to help the clients, but the clients need to know who is there to help them the best. With us, they pay no fees. You know, Henry said it clearly. Our duty is financial capability, to help the clients be a good decision maker, both for now and in the future. Because the decisions they make, the skills they develop today are the skills they're going to go with. Whether they're going to buy a home, whether they're going to establish a business, whatever they're going to do as an investment in their life, is that financial capability that takes them forward. And so that's what we do. You know, help the clients to understand that they're not alone and that they have trusted advisors that can help guide them as they protect their credits and protect their investments.
Stephen, I thought about this in my mind. Could I have said that any better? And the answer is no. I could not have said that any better. And the reason that I'm saying that about the information that you just said and Henry said and Bill said was that, you know, they don't have to do this alone. When you talked about the $100 a month that they would pay some credit restoration firm, that's a $1,200 collection or $1,200 bill that they have that you say, wait a minute, you just threw $1,200 away. And within that year, that would have been $1,200 that you could put back into your own thing, paying your own debt and not going back and forth with another entity to help you get your credit together. Having counselors like you guys are powerful. And I'm so glad that people will have the opportunity to hear you, see you. With that being said, I just want to thank you all again, Bill, Gray, Stephen, Henry, Tiffany, and Trent. We will, in fact, have this information available to you on this recording at the end of this recording. So listen to the very end so that you can reach out and you can have a conversation with us so that we can help you on your way and so we can continue to debunk these myths.
Thank you for joining us for this conversation, and thank you to all our guests for providing such great information. You'll find contact information and links connected to this video, and we hope you'll reach out to a homeownership advisor with questions or to get connected to resources and begin your homeownership journey.